Hi everyone, I'm Stan from Eagle Vision. I'm here with Dr. Jamie Sherrah. Jamie, welcome. And we're talking about machine learning and artificial intelligence. In this episode, we're going to focus on content creation. So it probably is more relevant to maybe some of the branding agencies or designers that are coming up with content around the designs and the developments, but at the same time, property developers may want to use these tools for creating stories about what their vision is going to be like. So, Jamie, what are some of the tools that specifically be used for content creation?
Yeah, so we've talked about ChatGPT before. So This is a text tool that will generate text.
Yep.
And you can kind of have a conversation with it. So you can start by asking it a question or to perform some task.
Sure.
You know, like...
So I'm a property developer, imagine what this would be like based on that.
Yeah, or write me a marketing brochure for my new property development or something like that. And the other area is really, at the moment, machine learning can generate just about anything. It could be images, video, 3D models even.
Yep.
So with imagery, we have tools like Dalle-2 and Midjourney, where you can put in a text description and it will generate you an image that looks like that.
Sure. How accurate do the images get represented based on our input?
I guess the coolest thing about it is that it can juxtapose concepts that it's seen before, but not in that combination. And that's where the versatility comes in. In terms of the quality of the images, with Dalle, they're limited. Midjourney has higher resolution output, but it'll still be perhaps a bit limited. This can be quite useful just for generating lots of ideas and concepts as a starting point that an artist would then go and finish, or you might just use the finished product. But Midjourney's been designed more for art output, and Dalle-2 is perhaps a little more general. So if you need something with style and to be, you know, more like a marketing material or something, then perhaps Midjourney is the best one.
Yeah, sure thing. All right, and what about 3D? You mentioned that there's something around 3D content?
Yeah, so at least in the research realm, there are, you know, generative models to generate 3D models. These might be a little limited in detail.
Sure.
Traditionally, they've been kind of voxel based, but there are more detailed models or mesh models as well.
Yeah.
I know at least
we'll never know if the mesh is actually valid or not, because it'll just create stuff.
So again, it might be a starting point that you then go in and refine. And there are tools in the property development market for generating building designs automatically. You could say, you know, here's 10 different designs for this site. And look at again, that might be a starting point for an architect to say, you know, I didn't think of splitting that into 3 buildings, you know, I was thinking 2, and then play on that idea.
Yeah, cool.
Another good thing about these tools is that you can start with something and then generate either portions of it or regenerate the whole thing again as variations on that theme. So again, it's a productivity tool that can help you to rapidly churn through ideas and speed up the bits that are slow for people, I guess, the editing and things like that.
Yeah, of course. So it sort of brings us to this term called prompt engineering that has come out in the recent time. Essentially, how do we make our prompts better so that we actually get a more predictive outcome? Is that what that's about?
Yeah, so I guess maybe it's the same for human to human communication. Sometimes you have to rephrase or explain more about what you want from an employee or a co-worker before you get what you want. But perhaps the results might be a little less human, a little surprising. So perhaps you could just rephrase something a little. So you might say, make me a picture of an apartment block with a wall garden or something, but you might rephrase it as something like a block of apartments, wall garden, you know, natural lighting in an urban scene, and you get quite a different result.
Sure.
And even though they're kind of saying the same things, it can just be the turn of phrase or the structure of the sentence, or putting some keywords in can totally change everything.
Yeah, of course.
And that really comes about because these are statistical algorithms that learn from lots of data, and they've seen lots of images and associated captions, and it just depends on what they've seen. And that data is also noisy in that sometimes the captions don't match the images very well.
Yeah. We've sort of are starting to talk about limitations of some of these systems. And really, do you foresee that in the next little while, they will get better at perhaps content creation based on more intuitive understanding of what the humans are saying?
Yes, I think this will come a lot through engineering, and at the moment, a lot of the developments have come through scaling up the models and putting more training data through them.
Yep.
But what we see with ChatGPT is then it's become more about to make this a really good application and not just a research system.
Yep.
What are the steps we need to do? What data do we need, and how do we train it, fine tune it? How are people going to use it? All those things. So they've added extra steps on top. So I think probably what we'll see in the future, we've kind of exhausted all the data, and it's more going to be the smarts or research breakthroughs about how to train the models to make them have, I guess, a better understanding of the world through the data. And yes, we'll get better. The systems will get better at giving us what we're asking for. But what's really important with that is that they already do now is that they're interactive, and that you can correct from the point that you're at. Say, it's going in the direction I want, but it's not quite there, so we need to try different things. As long as you've got that facility to interactively iterate on it, then I think
that could be useful.
Yeah,
cool. Awesome. Look, that's all that we sort of wanted to touch on in terms of content creation. Next time around, we'll talk about optimization and how some of these systems can be used to help in the development process. Thanks for watching.